What's up, everybody? It's Chris with Epic Style. I'm going to go around, catch up with some different vendors and people here in NARBC. I'm going to ask them just a simple question of what's the first reptile that they remember keeping? Invertebrate, arachnid, amphibian, doesn't matter, just something different outside of your cat, dog. Just curious as what that might be. Follow me on my journey.
Right, so it's a bit of a multi-part question because I grew up in a household full of reptiles. So my parents had some, and I was lucky enough to have a bearded dragon as the first pet that was in my room. But the first time I ever went and got an animal by myself, it was a corn snake. So I would say like bearded dragon and corn snake were my top two.
Solid. Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
So my very first reptile ever was a green iguana that I bought from a store called Earl May. If you're not familiar with Earl Mays, they were somewhat countrywide. They were like a garden store that also sold animals.
The reptile I had was a garter snake. I distinctly remember I paid $5 for it, and I fed it goldfish for about 5 years, which is not what you're supposed to do, but that's what the pet stores told me in about '82.
The thing I had that I actually kept was turtles. I kept red-eared sliders and painted turtles because Chicago Herb Society used to have turtle races, so that's how that all started. That's kind of how Chicago Reptile came to be, and then NARBC came to be.
That's really cool.
And the first thing I actually bought ever was a Chinese water dragon I bought at Reptile Haven out in Escondido, California, where I was in the Marine Corps.
Sweet. Well, cool. Well, thanks for sharing with us.
Thanks, brother.
That's awesome.
Probably 5 or 6 years old. I remember my mom, I was coming in with snakes I was catching outside, and I came home one day with a scorpion actually that I found under a rock and scooped it up, took it home. And so my mom was like, all right, that's enough of this. Like, I will get you an animal. We just have to go get you one. And so we went to a pet store. I got a king snake, and actually I really didn't even like it, just because it was really active, and I would catch, snakes in the yard that I could interact with more. So from there, I went to get the ball python.
Courtney is actually the one who got like the very first reptile that we had, and it was a banana calico hidden gene Loma male. And I had pets growing up, like cats, dogs, stuff like that, but I was never like a big animal person. And that boy, Amos is his name, we still have him. He is the best pet, and it's because of him that we got into it. Like, he was just such a sweet, docile, incredible animal that he made me want to get one. And because I wanted to get one and Courtney told me about Morph Market, it just opened up this whole thing that has blown all of our money.
What I had is actually a curly hair tarantula. I actually got it gifted by my ex-fiance. Name is Credence. So I've had Credence for a couple of years now. He's pretty big compared to when I first got him. But we got him originally from the pet store. So that's kind of what kicked me off into being like the spider girl. So I started with tarantulas and then got into jumpers, and now I breed jumpers.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing. Appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
First of all of those would be monarch caterpillars. I would collect monarch caterpillars and get milkweed every day and raise them up until they were monarchs. And I raised like hundreds of monarch butterflies.
Yep.
So yeah, that was my introduction to creepy crawlies.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool.
It's a weird one.
Mine was a Pac-Man frog and a salamander that I kept in the same enclosure till the Pac-Man frog tried to eat the salamander. Then they had to be separated. 90s were a weird time.
Makes sense. Hey, we all learned, right?
Exactly.
It's a red-bellied toad, and I had them for like most of my life, but I think they passed away when I was like 8.
Got
I
you.
believe.
What was one of your favorite parts about it? What's something memorable you remember about having them?
When we would feed them crickets,
Yeah.
they would hide in their water dish, and
Uh-huh.
when crickets would run past their water dish, they would jump off the water dish and eat the crickets.
Oh my gosh, I bet you that feeding response and watching them do that was so amazing.
Yeah, it was funny.
Beardy.
A beardy
was my gateway animal.
Right on.
My gateway reptile.
what was your beardie's name?
Hydra.
Ah.
And then it was Pyro.
Oh.
And then it was Nova.
Oh, we have a pyro.
Do you really?
Yes, we do. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
so one of our beardies is a leatherback. That one was a rescue, so that was
Okay.
cool. So we always like to promote rescues, especially for beardies.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, thank you so much. Thanks for sharing. Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming out.
Yep.
My first one was a normal ball python, adult.
Good old classic.
Yes, it was early '90s, so it came with ticks. It was wild caught. We still did that back then. But yeah, just super basic, normal ball python. My first exotic snake that I very specifically remember was a pair of womas, which was, at the time, very, very exotic.
Okay.
And I was very excited about those. But yeah, started with ball python.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing. Appreciate it.
Well, that's a wrap, everybody. Thanks for following along. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'm going to try to do more of these at
other shows that I attend. Shout out to Rice Reptiles for this awesome hat. Thanks. It was a great weekend. Awesome seeing everybody. Hope everybody had a great time, and look forward to see everybody in the next show.